Good morning, my dear students. Today we will discuss some important questions on the base of properties of determinants. Yes, my students, this type of the questions are very important. Question number exercise 4.3, question number first. In question number first, it is given that or you have to prove that x, y, z, it is the x, y, z or a, b, c, x plus a, y plus b, z plus c equal to 0. That means you have to prove that the value of the determinant equal to how much? 0. But it is very important. It is given. You have to prove these ones with the help of properties of matrix without expanding. You cannot expand this type of the questions. That means determinant cannot expand. Without expanding these determinants, you have to prove that this value equal to 0. So my students, these type of the questions, when you want to go to solve, in these cases, you have to watch the right side carefully. Right side is given 0. Then after that, this type of the numbers you have to watch carefully. If you watch these numbers, then you show that this column is the sum of two elements. A third column is the sum of two elements. Okay, my students. This third column is the sum of two elements. That is why this can be expressed as the sum of two determinants according to the properties of determinants. Because in properties we already discussed, if any row or any column of a determinant is the sum of two elements, then determinant can be expressed as the sum of two determinants. That is why this can be written as, look here, left hand side can be written as first element x, y and z, a, b, c. Next, it is the sum, that is why you can write x, y, z, and another determinant x, y, z for a, b, c. For next, these numbers a, b, c. Look here, I just express these determinants in the sum of two determinants. Determinant number first and determinant seconds, according to the rules of determinants. So my students, I think you understand what I am going to discuss in this class. Look here again. Yes, my students. So look here, you have to prove this part equal to 0. That means this column is the sum of two elements. That is why I expand this as a two determinants, determinant first and determinant second. Because this is the sum of two matrix, two elements. That is why the first element say first is first, and first second. So I expand these two determinants. Look here, this C1 for this determinant C1 and C3 are same or identical because x, y, z. That means these two columns C1 and C3 are same. Here C2 and C3 are same. Look here, C2 and C3 both are same. C2 and C3. My students, look here. Here C2 and C3 are same. So it is the 0 plus 0 that I get the 0. Because according to the rules of determinants, if the two row or any two column of a determinants are equal or identical, then the value of the determinant equal to how much? 0. So my students, I think you understand what I am going to discuss here. Look here again, because here C1 and C3 are same, therefore x, y, z. So in these cases, according to the properties of determinants, value of the determinant is how much? 0. And this one also, C2 and C3 are also identical. That is why it is also 0. So 0 plus 0 how much? 0. That is your determinants. So my students, I think you understand what I am going to discuss here. Next question number second. Also you have to do like this. Next, question number second. In question number second, you have to prove that is the question number second. A minus B, B minus C, or C minus A. Next, B minus C, C minus A, and A minus B. Next, C minus A minus B, or B minus C equal to 0 equal to 2. So, my students, look here. You have to prove that the value of this determinant equal to 0 you have to prove. Look here. You have to prove that this value of the determinant and this value of this determinant equal to how much? 0 you have to prove. If you want to prove this determinant equal to 0, then in these cases, you look here these numbers. Right side is given 0, that means you have to prove that it is 0, and left side is given A minus B, B minus C, C minus A. So my students, if we add all these numbers here, then I think you get how much? 0. If I expand C1 plus C2 plus C3, if I operated this C1, if I apply the operation on C1 plus C2 plus C3, then what will happen? That means these three numbers when you added A minus B, B minus C, or C minus A, and B minus C, C minus A. And next number, if you added these three, B minus C, C minus A, or A minus B, C minus A minus B. Again, when you added C minus A minus B, B minus C, A minus B, or B minus C. So in these cases, I get what? All this part minus A, plus A cancel, plus B minus B, and plus C minus C. That means you get 0, 0, 0, and remaining elements are same to same as it is here to write A minus B, or B minus C. So in these cases, you look here, one row or one column. If one row or one column of a determinants, are equal to 0, then value of the determinant will be the 0 according to the properties of determinants. Because look here, one row C1 column equal to 0. If any row or any column of a determinants are equal to 0, then value of this determinant are also 0. So according to these rules, I already get the value of the determinant is how much? 0. So my students, I think you understand what I am going to discuss here. So look here, because C1 equal to 0, so all the value of the determinant equal to 0. Thank you, my dear students. Next question number 3. Next question number 3. Next question number 3 it is given. Question number 3 it is given. You have to prove 2, 3, 5, next 7, 8, 9, 65, 75, and 86 equal to 0. You have to prove this one. So my students, look here, these numbers, you watch these numbers carefully, because it is given that without expanding, you have to prove that without expanding, you cannot expand. Without expand, you have to prove that this part equals to 0. So my students, in these cases you cannot expand. So look here, if you watch these numbers carefully, then I get the C3 as like 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. If this number calculated as 9 into 7 plus 2, again 9 into 8 plus 3, 9 into 9 plus 5, then what will happen? Look here, these two numbers multiply, added this, these two numbers multiply, added this, these two numbers multiply, added this, then you get C3. Yes, my students, then I get how much? C3. So look here, in these cases I get like this, because this can be expanded as like this. Now, according to the properties of determinants, if any elements of a row or column is the sum of two elements, then determinant can be expressed as the sum of two determinants, you know, because it is the properties of determinants. That is why you can write like this. This determinants value x1, you can get 2, 3, 5 and 7, 8, 9, and first element is 9 into 7, 9 into 8, 9 into 9. That is the first. And second, you can write like this: 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and another element is 2, 3, 5. So I expand like this, because this element is the sum of two determinants. That means, that is why I expand this determinant as the sum of two determinants. So my students, I think you understand. Next, if I taking common 9 from this side, because in case of the determinants, just you can take common only one element from any row or from any column. किसी भी रो नहीं तो कॉलम से एक नंबर को कॉमन कर सकते हैं. That is why you can take the common 9 from this side. If I take the common from this side, then what will happen? Look at. So if I taking common 9 from this side, then I get 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and the remaining number 7, 8, 9, and this is, look at. Here C1 and C3 are same or identical. Look at 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 5. So according to the properties of determinants, if any two row or column of a determinants are same or equal, then value of the determinant is how much? 0. So here also you look at. Here also look at the sequence C3. Here also C2 and C3 are same or identical, because look at 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. So in these cases the value of the determinant equal to 0, and this is also equal to 0. So equal to how much? 0. So my students, I think understands. There are so many questions. Just you have to watch these questions carefully. After that you can solve easily. Next question, number 4. Next question number 4. Next question number 4, you have to prove 1, 1, 1, BC, CA and AB, A into B plus C, B into C plus A, C into A plus B equal to 0. A to prove that this part equal to almost 0. A to prove. A to prove that this determinant equal to 0. Okay, my students. Now look these numbers carefully against same rules. At first you have to watch these questions carefully. After that you can solve so many questions easily. So according to the rules, so if I apply the operation C1 plus C2 plus C3, then what will happen? These three would be the added. So 1 plus, if I added all these numbers, then BC plus AB plus AC. Because I added all these three ones, and you multiply this number all this one, then you get this one. Again 1 plus CA plus BC plus AB. Again finally added 1 plus AB plus CA plus BC, and remaining numbers are same to same. Yes, remaining numbers are same to same. So my students, here you can also apply another properties also. Yes, another properties also you can also use here. If I operated C2 as C2 plus C3 तो भी आपका क्वेश्चन बहुत सिंपल होगा बेटा। जैसा आप ये दोनों को प्लस कर दिया, देखो ये नंबर आपको सेम टू सेम कर दो 1 1 1। If I added these two numbers, then I get AB plus BC plus AC and A into B plus C. These numbers I get when you multiply these numbers with this and added this one I get. Again you multiply this one AB plus BC plus CA. Next when you multiplying AB plus BC plus CA. Again remaining numbers B into C plus A, C into A plus B. So I think you understand what I am going to discuss here. I just operated C2 plus C3. C2 में लगा दिया C2 plus C3, ये दोनों को प्लस कर दिया बेटा, तो मेरा पास ये रिजल्ट आ गया। You can take common this number from this side, then you get how much? AB plus BC plus AC. Then remaining numbers are 1 1 1, here 1 1 1, and A into B plus C, B into C plus A, and C into A plus B. So I get determinant as like this. But here look here, C1 and C2 are same. That is why value of this determinant equal to how much? 0. Because C1 and C2 are same according to the properties. If any two row or column of a determinant are same or identical, then value of the determinant is how much? 0. So that is why this value is 0. 0 into something, you get how much? 0. So my students, I think understands here what are the questions here and how you have to solve here. So you just watch these questions carefully, just you can solve all the questions. So my students, so I think you understand. Next question number, suppose the question number 6, look here. Look, question number 6. Question number 6, it is given 0 minus A, B, A 0 C, and minus B minus C 0. You have to prove this is the 0. So look my students, you have to look the numbers carefully. Yes, if we multiply this line, that means R2 by B and this is by A, and you add it, then I think this part will be the 0. Look here, if I expand, or you can also prove this one by expanding, because these questions no need to prove in what properties. You can also use these ones by expanding, because it is the beyond your properties. That is why you can also prove this one by expanding also. If I operated like this, if I operated this part, suppose the R2 multiply by B into R2 and R3 multiply by A into R3. Then since I multiply, you have to divide also. So 1 upon A B multiply 0 A minus B, and if I multiply this, then I get how much? Minus AB, because multiply by B. So you get AB and this part equal to 0 and this part equal to minus BC, and this part by multiply by A. So I get how much? AB, AC, and this is 0. Now if you added these two terms, then some terms are already becomes 0. So I get, look my students, since I multiply this, I have also divided in case of the determinants. So if I added these two terms, or you can do these numbers as easily. If you take common AB from this side, A from this side, and B from this side, or minus B from this side, then what will happen? AB from this side you take common, AB upon AB, you get how much? 0 minus 1 1. You can get A from this side. If you take common A, then you get how much? 1 0 C. And if you get minus B from this side, So minus b I take common from this side, so you get how much? 1 c and already 0. So I can cut minus, I have minus a b. Now from these any ones, if you expand from this line or any row, then this line when you expand, then this part and this part equal to 0, because it is 0. Then all elements are 0. If you expand from minus 1, then this line and this line cancel. You get how much? You get this part remain 0 and this part minus c. Again for this plus 1, you get how much? This line and this line cancel. You get how much? Minus c minus 0. Because in case of the determinants, you have to expand like this. For this. Any row or column, you have to expand. Now, minus AB, here C, here minus C, this term equal to AB into 0, that means you get how much? 0. So my students, I think you understand. There are so many questions, you have to just prove this. Thank you my dear students. If you cannot understand, then you can ask me. These questions are very important also. Just you watch these questions carefully. Thank you my dear students.